My name is Sabrina Smith, and I'm here to talk about the Supreme Court is ready to let Trump in the DACA program. So, DACA stands for Deferred Actions for Childhood Arrivals. It's basically an American immigration policy that allows illegal but individuals to come over and have a like 2 year work permit, and most of them are students. Of course, they're children, they're students, and this act came in. Well, it stops them from deportation as long as they're a student, working, or they have to be in school, high school, working, or you a military veteran. Also, they have to have clean records. So this came in. President Obama passed this in 2012, but they call it unconstitutional because it was introduced by an executive action and not a congressional approval. So with this visa, they can get things like a credit card, a driver's license, and about 16% of these people bought houses in their first year that they were here, and 5% start their own business. So there are pros and cons of this policy being kept in place. And most think that it promotes legal immigration, and basically they feel like it makes people think that they can just come over here and not be documented and just work or whatever. So my question is, should you end the DACA program? Would it help or would it hurt? Would it be a benefit or would it be a burden? If so, what would be the steps that you want to take to keep this program if you think that they should keep it? My personal opinion, I think that they should hire some skilled workers, because we could lose about 800,000 people if this bill is passed to end this policy. So we could lose $500 billion. So that's like the economy in like a couple of years. We could lose like $500 billion, and that is a lot of money. However, you have children over here that are separated from their parents, and they're in, and a lot of people like to call them cages, but they're in like these like it looks like a fence or whatever to separate them, to know where they come, to identify who they belong to, because some are separated from their parents and for about 95 days, and that's a long time, and it's actually 20 days over what the federal law allows to happen. So although that some of these children are older and in the workforce, and some are actually like doctors in their residence, and if they are deported, it's like they have to stop practicing and they leave that day. They can't work. And some families getting this visa is basically, some people send money back to their families, and it takes years for some people and lots of money for them to legally become citizens. So should we or should we not pass this policy to go into play? So I'm sorry. So most of the time they call them dreamers because they want to come over for a better life. Because I saw a young lady that was in the documentary, and she was separated from her mom for about 35 days. And within that 35 days, when they were reunited, her mother said that the daughter had changed. And I'm wondering, like, what could have happened to her within 35 days that would change her? Because her mom said she was a happy child. And some of these children, you can hear videos, and they're crying for their moms because they're young and they're being separated, and they don't know if they're going to see them. And some of these workers aren't, nice or know how to work with children. So the National Association of Social Work ethical code, states that, ethically you want to protect the child. and treat every human being, with what's in the best interest of them. And just DHS gets involved with these children, and they trying to figure out where they belong. Because some kids come in, and it's like they don't know who they belong to. They don't know the names, and of course they're children, so some of them may not be able to actually talk and communicate and let you know who I belong to, where I go, and who I go back to. And they get lost in the shuffle. So again, would it help or would it hurt for this program to end? And if you think it would help to keep it, what would be your solutions?